Hey everybody, and welcome to week 6 of our class here at Purdue Global University on gubernatorial processes and the administrative processes, EM 410. Interesting week this week, guys, as we're coming back off week 5. We didn't have a seminar last week and just had our one discussion board. And so it was a pretty easy week last week. This week, we are getting back into it. We have 2 discussion boards going today, guys, so please make sure you're posting on 3 separate days on each discussion board. No paper this week, guys, so we don't have to worry about an assignment. We do have our seminar has returned, so we have a seminar this coming Sunday night, so I hope to see everybody there at around 8 p.m. So everybody make sure to attend seminar. This week is a very interesting topic this week, guys, as we are examining state budgetary processes. Extremely interesting process because we often talk about the federal government. We hear about deficit spending and the way the federal government's trillions of dollars in debt, the way the federal government passes spending bills, the way it raises the debt ceiling, the way it just keeps spending. So we have an overview of the federal government, but what we look at the state government is something vastly different. We look at things such as balanced budget amendments. A lot of states have passed these where it requires the state budget to be at zero when the legislative process ends, which means that the state cannot run a deficit. It is unconstitutional in your state if you have a balanced budget amendment for the state to run a deficit. So states either have to do one of two things. They either have to raise taxes to account for spending, or they're going to have to cut, which means cut personnel, cut services, cut agencies. However, they're going to have to balance the budget by the end of that process. Another concept we're looking at this week, guys, is some states have established what we refer to as rainy day funds. And in a rainy day fund, the state, when it takes in some surpluses, will just simply put money away, almost like you put money in your savings account. And that money we put in place in case it's needed for some sort of emergency or some sort of spending project later on down the road. And the purpose of the rainy day fund is to have that money available to avoid, again, things on us as taxpayers, such as having to raise taxes to pay for something or borrow money from the federal government in terms of federal loans or those kind of things. So the rainy day fund is there to help the state also in case it needs the money for some sort of process. Another good thing about a rainy day fund, too, which most people don't realize, is that if your state does have a rainy fund, it actually increases your bond rating. So if you want to have highway bonds and those kind of things to help pay for projects in the state, having a rainy day fund and having a balanced budget and having money on hand is something that could get your state a very high bond rating. So those are kind of things to look at too as we talk about balanced budgets. States that don't have balanced budgets, guys, tend to get themselves in trouble. Some states like Illinois tend to run high deficits, are on the verge of bankruptcy. So we'll compare states with balanced budgets with those states that don't have balanced budgets. So it should be a very interesting week this week, guys. So we're talking about all these great things on budgeting. Remember, 2 discussion boards, seminar this week, no assignment. If you need me, guys, please feel free to contact me by email, phone, text, and office hours are on Tuesdays and Sundays from 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time over in the instructor virtual office. With that, guys, have a great week.